This video is video on understanding how to do the design specs and how to figure out your outputs for your bridge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a look. I have a bridge open. You can't see it right now, but that's fine. And I'm going to just show you how to get to outputs and understand if your bridge meets the specifications that were set aside, that I set aside and put forth. So in order to do that, you're going to go to the Outputs tab. You're going to click on that. It's going to open up a white box like this, or a white sheet. And you're going to go to Design Specifications, HTML, and you're going to click on the icon next to that. When you do that, it's going to have a design specification, and it's going to tell you this is what we're talking about. And then there's, in this particular section, this is what's allowed. This is how we designed it. In this bottom section, these are minimums of what it is supposed to be like, the maximum of what it could be like, and this is how it's designed. So what you're looking at is, in this particular case, I have allowed a side truss, and the bridge that I designed has a side truss. I've also allowed a deck truss. You can see I've allowed it, but the bridge I designed does not have one. Don't have to have one, but I have allowed you to use one. I have not allowed lamination, basically gluing a bunch of pieces together, okay? But for the floor beam, so this is to the web member, so this is for the trusses. For the floor beams lamination, I have allowed, and yes, we've designed it that way. And then material, I've allowed you to use balsa wood, basswood, pine, or birch. In this particular case, the bridge that I made is strictly just balsa wood right here, okay? But if you use multiples, it would list what you did use, okay? So that's just an allowable, okay? In this section down here, these are specific things, inputs. So there is a length. There's a length minimum. It has to be no shorter than 250 millimeters and no longer than 300 millimeters. The bridge I have designed is 300 millimeters. So it falls in this allowable area, minimum, maximum. And in this case, as I have height, there is no minimum height. There's a maximum height of 80 millimeters, and you can see my design height is 503, definitely way above my maximum, hence the reason why that is red. If you find anything in here that is red, that's something that has to be corrected, okay? And then we go to span. My span is minimum 200, maximum 200, so I know, in other words, it has to be 200, and that's how I've designed it. Number of bays, there is no minimum maximum. Okay, so I have 8 bays. Then the design outputs, total length of material used. So when you total up all the materials used, I can't go over 6,096 millimeters, and I have 18,257.92 millimeters, way over, 3 times more than what I should use. Okay, and then there's the capacity and the budget type of thing. So those 2 red things is what I have to fix. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I have my stuff in spec. So I have to make sure everything in here is black. So what I do is I go, okay, I've got to fix certain things. So I go back to engineering, and I'm going to go turn on my 2D truss here, and you can see where it says 500. I'm way high over here. So I know that's under my envelope, and you can see my height, 500. So if this is set at 500, and in my outputs it said 513 or something like that, okay, I know if I will put 80, it's probably going to be still over 80. So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to put 75 here. And notice nothing changes until I apply. Okay, and now I apply, and now everything changed. It shrunk that up, but it's still not official until I click done. Okay, now this is going to take up care of my 2 things. Because it was so tall, it used a lot of materials. Remember, I only could use 6,000 millimeters, and I used 18,000. I guarantee you that's going to help that number also. So now that I've changed that, I'm going to go back to my outputs and take a look. Did it change? So I click on my outputs, click on my icon. Look at that. I have changed my height, went from 500 and something to 78.8, which is good because I had 75 and it still went 3 millimeters over. Okay. And my length of materials dropped from 18,000 to 5,600. So I'm under that. So now when I look through all this, I don't have any red. And that's what you want to go for, is you do not want to have any red when you look at your outputs. So that's how you look at your outputs. That's how you get your things, so you know that you are within the specifications that are set aside for you. So on to the next video after this one.